Stephen Strafford. Now, yes, hold on. We're just going to give this gentleman a moment to go, whoa, WTF, I'm going first. I feel fear, but it's not going to be too bad because this is a very loving and supportive audience. Am I wrong? Hello, hold on. No, you keep going. I'm keeping him at a low boil. And then when this gentleman comes to the stage, you're going to erupt in wonderful and supportive applause because it's very difficult to go first. Stephen Strafford, ladies and gentlemen.
I had known I was HIV positive for a long time. And I told my brother, who was taking me to get tested after I had come back from Chicago, back to New Jersey, where I was living with my mom, that he needed to not get his hopes up. That the fact was, I was definitely going to be HIV positive. I had done intravenous drugs for 2 years, and I had slept with gazillions of men unprotected. So the chances were, mathematically speaking, that I was HIV positive. The thing was, that was so ironic about the whole situation was before I had started doing crystal meth in Chicago, I had been a virgin. And the thing is that brings up sort of the virgin debates. And in the gay community, it's like our abortion debate. And it's like everyone has an opinion. And you just need to ask them what the situation is. And for me, my belief is that if you give a blowjob to like 95 guys, you're not a virgin. But it's just how I am. So I was technically a virgin. But as I had started a relationship with this guy, which basically the whole relationship was that he gave me crystal meth and then we had sex, I started to lower my standards of precaution, which is what happens when you do crystal meth. And I proceeded to believe that I was HIV positive. So when I started to date a drug dealer who was HIV positive, I just thought, well, I'm already HIV positive. We don't need to protect ourselves. It's fine. And so I went to, I started to get health care in Chicago for HIV positive people. And which was good because I had no money because I was a drug addict. So I would go and I got tested, and the doctor there came up and he said, I lost your results. And I was like, oh, that's really weird at the time. But in retrospect, of course, I think, here was a man who saw that I was HIV negative, but he got me a social worker, a drug counselor, and a psychiatrist. So the thing is that I started to do, though, was be like, oh, well, I'm HIV positive. That's my life. And so I started to use it as an excuse all the time, which if you need an excuse to get out of a jam, saying you found out you're HIV positive is a pretty good one. So if I didn't go in for a waiting table shift, I was like, I just found out I was HIV positive. And when I was found doing drugs in my underwear in my old roommate's apartment that I'd broken into the window, on her vanity mirror, I was like, I just found out I was HIV positive. And she, and then I cried and she held me, and it was like, okay, for the next week. And so, on this car ride over, I was pretty sure of what was going to happen. My brother and I had been through a lot growing up. We were sort of like war buddies. My home life was sort of laissez-faire growing up, and my brother and I were in charge of piling the laundry at the top of the stairs and then throwing it down to the bottom of the stairs when it was laundry time. And we thought this was like normal house cleaning, and it's just the way we lived. And we got each other through a lot of things, and he was always the bad parts in all the musicals. I would get the librettos from the library, and I would play, let's say, John Adams, Ben Franklin, and maybe Martha Jefferson, and he would play all of the other parts. And so he had been my buddy for a long time, and so I didn't want to disappoint him. I really wanted to prepare him. And so we're driving along, and I'm trying to talk about anything else. The new Harry Potter book was coming out, and I'm like, I'm really excited to read it. And he's a really steady guy. For all of my all over the place, he's right here. And he was like, we need to talk about this if you're really HIV positive. I'm like, no, it's fine. I know I can get better healthcare that way, and frankly, it's going to be better. So we go to New Brunswick, New Jersey, and I go to the free clinic. And everything else is you come back for the results, but HIV testing is the same day. And so he sat with me in the room, and I turned to him and I said, listen, I'm going to come out, and I'm probably going to be pretty upset. I'm going to need you to be really okay. And he was like, got it, I'm here. And I left my straight brother all stoic in the waiting room, and I go in, and the woman is very nice, very, very, very nice, and she has the results on the table, and you can't just say them, you have to show them. And so I'm sitting there, and she has her hand like this, and then she moves it, and it says negative. And I have 40 years that I never bargained for. I have the possibility for kids, and I have the possibility for grandkids, and I have the possibility to outlive my parents. And I go outside, and I see my brother. And my brother looks at me. I start to cry. And he comes up and he wraps his arms around me, and he's like, it's going to be okay. We're going to get you the best doctors. And I was like, no, I'm HIV negative. And my brother and I cried from the waiting room into the car. He turned on the car, down Route 9, to Old Bridge, New Jersey, where we told my mother. And my mother, of the laissez-faire parenting, who had never believed in God, says that day she looked at her two sons and what we had been through and said, you guys are a miracle. Thanks.
Stephen Strafford, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen, notice the chills extended on my arm. The chills on my arm at your story. Thank you.